My name is Virginia Henderson, and I created a need theory. I was born November 30th, 1897 in Kansas City, Missouri. I was the fifth out of 8 children. In 1918, I entered nursing school at the Army School of Nursing in Washington, D.C., and I received my diploma in 1921. By 1924, I was offered my first position as an instructor. And in 1934, I joined Teachers College, Columbia University, where I completed my Bachelor's of Science and Master's of Arts degree in nursing education. In 1953, I accepted my position at Yale University for nursing. And by 1959 to 1971, I was funded to direct the Nursing Studies Index project. From this project, I published 4 volumes, which was the first nursing research that was ever published. I was awarded many awards in honor of my nursing research, and I unfortunately passed away March 19th, 1996. So for my need theory, what kind of theory is it? Well, it's a grand theory which provides a framework under which the key concepts and principles of the discipline can be identified. My theories are based around helping individuals to fulfill their physical and mental needs. They have been criticized for relying too much on the medical model of health, placing the patient in an overtly dependent position. However, my theory describes the nurse's role as doing for the person, helping the person, and working with the person, all while working towards the goal of helping the patient become as independent as possible. Some key points of my need theory. It focuses on the basic human needs and how nurses can assist in meeting those needs. I have broken my theory down by 14 components. All the components are based on the physiological, psychological, spiritual, and moral and sociological needs of a person. Here are my 14 components that are broken down. You want the patient to breathe normally, eat and drink adequately, eliminate body waste, move and maintain desirable postures, sleep and rest, select suitable clothes, dress and undress, maintain body temperature within normal range by adjusting clothing and modifying environment, keep the body clean and well groomed to protect the integument. You want to avoid dangers in the environment and avoiding injuring others. You want to be able to communicate with them and expressing emotions, needs, fears, or opinions. Worship according to one's faith. Work in such a way that there is a sense of accomplishment. Play or participate in various forms of recreation. And lastly, learn, discover, satisfy the curiosity that leads to normal development and health, and use the available health facilities. So how does my theory meet the key terms of a theory? Well, if you look up the definition of a theory, it is described by a set of concepts, definitions, relationships, and assumptions or propositions that are derived from nursing models or from other disciplines and project a purpose, systematic view of phenomena by describing, explaining, predicting, and or prescribing. My theory is broken down into 14 components that address patient needs in different circumstances, which can be applied in any clinical setting, and it's easily applied by any nurse. It serves as a framework to recognize the needs of the patient and improves the quality of care given. A nursing research study that was done was performed on a 25-year-old female. She was admitted to the hospital following a suicide attempt. She tried to ingest toilet bowl cleaner. Upon assessment, we found out that the patient was stressed and tried killing herself because her family had tried to arrange marriage while she was already in love with somebody else. So from the assessment, we were able to see that she was a depressed male, difficulty breathing, and mood swings. She had an endoscopy performed, which showed damage to her larynx, mouth, and stomach ulcers. The doctors had ordered a liquid diet, and she refused. Well, she didn't want the care because she was still upset about how her family had arranged the marriage, and so a Foley was placed to monitor proper INO. Based on the 14 components that we had placed, we had done our assessment and broken down each one and figured out her individual needs on those 14 components. So after the nursing assessment was performed, there were nursing diagnoses made and the proper interventions were created to be taken to give her the best care possible. From here, after the need theory was applied to the patient, a logical solution to her problems was created, and her care plan became successful. By the end, she verbalized her concerns and showed willingness for her family's conditions and decisions. She was able to perform all activities of daily living independently, so this was a successful application of my need theory for this study. Based on my own clinical experiences, I think that my need theory is applied every time I do a patient assessment. We break down the physiological, sociological, psychological, spiritual, moral needs of each patient. When we look at each system of the patient and we try and figure out what's going on, and we talk to them and we ask them questions and we figure out what their mood is, how they're feeling, why they're feeling this way. So through each assessment that we do with patients, we're already applying the need theory. It's just I have put it on paper and broken it down so that we don't miss certain components that are needed. And I also think that looking at the needs of the patients will help create the nursing diagnosis, and from there the interventions and the care plan is put in place. A goal of all patients is to restore health and get them to be as able and as much independent in their own care as possible, and applying the need theory to each patient will definitely bring you to allow them to be the most independent as they can be in their care, and will restore them to the health that they are needed. That is it, and here are my references for my PowerPoint. Thank you.